Hey there, everyone. My name is Dustin Pizer. I'm the president and co-founder of the Timnath Chamber of Commerce. I'm here with my friends Mary and Brian McKnight of Turf Tamers here in northern Colorado. They're premium members, and we just thought we'd stop by and chat and discuss what they do, how they do it, where they're from, and everything in between. So, Mary, if you wouldn't mind just telling everyone a little bit about yourselves and Turf Tamers, that'd be awesome.
Sure, absolutely. We're local members and community members here in northern Colorado. I came out in 2001. Brian's been here longer.
Brian, with your story, it sounds like you've been here before 2001. Where are you from, and how did you get into the business?
I was originally born in Southern California, but moved here for junior high and high school. Went to high school over in Fort Collins. Studied, basics, but then coming out of high school, I was into horticulture and landscape management and maintenance, and kind of petered out on my college career after about a semester. I went straight into the dirt and started landscaping and started Turf Tamers 2001. I remember it was right after 9/11, and went ahead and I was just a one-man show with a mower, and kind of built into crews and put a good foundation under it. So we've been in business now about 24 years. We're based out of Fort Collins. We're a small family-run business, but we do cover Timnath, Windsor, Fort Collins, Severance, Loveland areas. And it's kind of grown just from a love of outdoor living, outdoor landscapes, the things that we've, the evolution of landscaping in northern Colorado over the course of the last 20 years is remarkable. We were really kind of juniper happy, and just we had pretty plain landscapings there for a while. And now what we've done with the innovations in hardscaping and patios, and then obviously the plants that they brought in to northern Colorado from all over the world, is fun, and I think we're a good usher for people that don't really know much about landscaping, but want to have a beautiful little oasis at their house or at their business, and able to enjoy an outside setting also as well as their inside.
Yeah. It makes a significant difference having a home with finished and dialed in landscaping, because you can sort of be your getaway outside of the house, and so it goes a long way. And it is a major investment, especially if you're starting over from scratch, which with all the new construction in the area. What part of your business is a new construction landscape development to just general maintenance?
So we are about 50-50 split.
Wow.
We do full installs, irrigation, water features, and then hardscaping and flagstone. Flagstone's what we really love to do. I think it really enhances a Colorado backyard. But that being said, we also do softscapes, planting, mulching, and then obviously your maintenance, which is keeping your existing landscaping up to speed and tip top. Refreshing mulches and rocks, and diagnosing irrigation issues.
Yeah.
Irrigation has become, a real hot topic here in Colorado. So there's ways to irrigate a yard, and also back off a little bit of, we're kind of backing off as much turf these days and adding more like sustainable landscapes, which is drip irrigation. But at the same time, there is a place for Kentucky bluegrass and having a nice turf in your backyard, and there's ways to also reduce through soil amendments and through different things. There's a way to even have Kentucky bluegrass and reduce your irrigation quantity and frequency. So there's just a lot of things coming down that we like to help homeowners with and businesses with. And then obviously there's a very definitive line between what you can and can't do anymore with these metro districts and various buildings and HOAs around northern Colorado due to water restrictions and limitations. So
we live here in Wild Wing, and as you can see, we've got the beautiful water tower behind us in the Timnath Reservoir, which looks very much different than what it did, not that long ago when it was empty. So speaking of irrigation and sustainability, with sustainable landscaping, which you mentioned, can you tell us a little bit more about that outside of the basic mow, turf, and grass that people are generally accustomed to?
Yeah, I would say that there's a really good way to break up your yard and not have it, just flooded with water. And, I recommend a lot of softscaping, and every yard is different. It's kind of like art, we pretty much go plot by plot as far as what is useful for that particular property. And I do get people that are like, just rock everything. And sometimes I have to back that off a little, just because, if you rock everything in the middle of August, you want to sit on your backyard and have a refreshing drink, and the sun goes down, you still have 2 hours of the rock radiating heat, right? So breaking it up with a little bit of mulch, a little bit of turf, a hardscape patio, depending on each house and what your, limitations are, what your sun exposure is. There's infinity things that you can do with a landscape and cut back water. So, a lot of times people definitely want me to just rip out all the grass and add rock, and I'll, make sure that that's exactly what they want and that they've thought about it, thoroughly, because, different times of year, all rock is great in April and May, like right now, but when you're, in August and September, when it's 100 degrees all day long, that rock will radiate a little bit, so to have a patio surrounded by a bunch of hot rock is an issue, so we try to just walk through each property and find out what's ideal, how you're going to use it. Are you going to be out there every single day? Are you just going to look at it through a window? And there's low maintenance, and then there's people that really love perennial gardening, and how it goes.
How often do you guys find yourselves having to protect your clients or customers from themselves when it comes to all of the ideas that someone might have about what they would do in their front yard or backyard?
Yeah, it really comes down to a couple of factors. One major one that we're all concerned about is the budget. And so when you have 1,000,002 ideas, it's great, but we'll get it on paper and they'll be shocked by their own wish list. So the beauty of that is we can actually create a wish list, and we separate it work area by work area. So if there's priorities in your mind about what you really want to get done, but the budget's not there, you can just take things out and keep those work areas that you're really passionate about, that you really want to get done this season, and maybe save the other work areas for next season or a few years down the road.
Yeah, divide and conquer kind of situation.
We find a lot of people that, if one of my classic questions is, if you had a wizard's wand and you could wave it, what would you make your backyard look like? And of course, everybody, is wish list is Cadillac, and the actual reality might be more like a Highlander or something.
Yeah.
So we can break things up into phases, and really work with budgets, work with timelines, and work with whatever really is in the way. But getting a good backyard, front yard that's inviting to you and your family and your needs is priority.
To piggyback on what Brian said, Brian's our estimator. He's great on property with customers who have a huge wish list, but also for customers who don't really know what they want. Or maybe they have come from out of state and don't really know what works here. So he, obviously, 25 years of experience has really helped him gain a huge knowledge of all the plants that work, how to get things to bloom on different parts of the season, so you can have your spring blooms and your summer blooms and your fall color. So when you're out there on property with Brian looking at a backyard, if you have tons of ideas or if you don't really have any ideas and not sure where to even begin, he can really help out with all of that whole process.
Yeah. You mentioned people coming in from out of area and what's available and what you can do here in northern Colorado. And as I followed you over the last several months, I've noticed an onboarding of just a number of employees, and thought it was bizarre until I realized that you have a seasonal business, which is interesting considering, the winter periods and the spring and summer. Being from California like you, there's just a single season. So I could see California people coming in and not knowing what's available to them. And then also, that to your point, but also what's the back workings and the functionality behind having a seasonal business where some employees you might only have for a single season, some have been with you forever. How do you manage, train, identify the people that are going to be a good fit for Turf Tamers?
Sure, yes. So to begin with, our hiring process is pretty robust. You would think landscaping companies just bring anybody on they can. They just need bodies to work. we're a bit different. We're very particular about who we hire. We hire for fit more than even experience level because we are awesome at training. We background check everyone that comes into our doors to make sure they're safe for our residential customers to be in someone's backyard. During that process, what we do is if they don't have any experience, it's okay. We have an entire apprenticeship program, but we also have people who are here with us all the time, right? So year-round workers that have been with us forever, like you mentioned. So what we do over the winter is we keep the few guys that we have on staff busy with snow removal, winter cleanups. We also offer commercial portering, which is basically walking the property every other week and picking up branches, picking up trash. We can do that for customers, residential customers as well, if they want just a regular winter service to keep everything clean.
Cool.
So what's great about that is it hedges our seasonality. We are working all year round. We just are working a little bit less and we need smaller crews over the winter. Then we hire in the spring, like you were saying, a bunch of people. And what's great about that is we're very transparent, first of all, that the season begins March 1 and it ends about Thanksgiving. So everyone knows that their season will end a certain time of year. We have some guys who save up a bunch of money and just, they like ski all winter.
Cool. That'd be me. Damn.
So we have some...
Not skiing, but I would disappear for a period of time, but yeah.
Yeah, so we have some people who make a big plan and do some winter activities while the season's slow, or they pick up like seasonal jobs, like for Christmas, you know, the retail gets really busy during that time of year, so they can pick up a job over the winter, and then a lot of times they come back to us in March for the spring rush.
Yeah, and I would say to piggyback on that is, you know, it's kind of intimidating to have people come into your personal space, your backyard and stuff. So we really pride ourselves on our crew and our hiring process and being vigilant and about who we bring on and who we send into your private area. We also work with a lot of charter schools, so our people are very used to being around children, school atmosphere, which just, you know, we kind of try to keep that, you know, good-looking crew, persona for our crew, and I think the interaction between the customer and our crew is something that they appreciate. And also, obviously, our office staff and our administrative staff is the same way, very outreaching, very, you know, we really pride ourselves in what we offer the customer as far as the experience.
Okay. We talked before this interview about the continuing ed that your team is part of. Can you enlighten us to what that backworkings are and what you mean by that?
Yeah, so more on our employee and our core group that sticks around in the winter. You know, we will have periods in the winter where it's slow and we don't have snow on the ground. So we like to continue ed in the industry, in the green industry, which is a big industry. And so we like, you know, we are members of the ALCC, Associated Landscape Contractors of Colorado, and we're all certified in the core crew. Our crew leaders are certified in sustainable landscaping, the new innovative things that are happening in the landscaping world. So continuing ed is big for us in the winter, and yeah.
Right on. There's two more things I wanted to run by you and discuss, and one is your brand and your marketing. I ran into you guys, I think that was February, at an event co-sponsored with the Timnath Chamber and the SBDC here, Small Business Development Center here in Northern Colorado. You had a plethora of amazing marketing material. Our logos are strangely similar with the Timnath Chamber, although they're the same designer, but we did notice that as sort of an after effect. Tell us about marketing and what it takes to market a landscaping business, particularly one that is heavy in the spring and summer months and maybe a little bit lighter in the winter and fall.
Sure, absolutely. So we have an account manager who is just an amazing human being who does all of our marketing. His name's Tim. He's part of headquarters. So if you're a customer with us, you'll know Tim because he's the one who answers the phone and takes care of all your needs. Our headquarters, by the way, is super robust and we have a really great response rate. And unlike other landscapers, we don't leave people hanging. We really do get back to you and we make sure to take care of those needs. That being said, as far as marketing goes, Tim takes pictures all the time and videos, and we try to make it really interactive. We call it headquarters because we really want to convey to our customer that we will answer our phone. We're not flaky contractors. We do a great job of responding to emails, texts, and phone calls. Our customers can be assured that anytime an issue comes up, we're going to respond really quickly. That's why I call it headquarters, because we're just above and beyond other landscapers that you're going to get. And Tim is our kind of headquarters extraordinaire. He's our account manager. He's also our marketer. And so having him at the helm, taking the calls and responding, he's just super organized and does a great job of taking care of anyone's needs and getting people onboarded and bringing them into kind of the Turf Tamers family.
And the marketing, balancing the marketing for the spring and summer seasons as it differentiates the winter and fall, like what's the back workings to that?
So we're very spring heavy. Obviously, we're trying to market very heavily in the spring and all through early spring and summer to let people know that we're here and what services that we provide. We take tons of photos. We do lots of fun videos showing our great crew members working and doing what they do best. We have really good looking crews with great uniforms, so we're just really proud of what we have to offer. So it's no big deal for us to go out to a property and kind of surprise our crew members with a couple videos for promotion, and they still look great. They don't have to change their clothes. They're looking great. And as I said, Tim's the editor, and he posts all the social media for us, so he's just really great at doing that marketing. So once fall and winter comes, it just switches to marketing for leaf cleanups and snow removal. Spring is really heavy on landscaping projects and mowing, getting our customers on that maintenance contract. It's seasonal, but there's plenty of marketing to be done.
You know, we are very heavy in the spring with marketing and the push, but the reality is stone and flagstone and pavers, we can lay, up into January and even in February. Generally, our season is March 1st is when we officially start the maintenance side of things, but we're laying stone in the winter months and staying busy as much as possible.
So now to the juicy part. Being a married couple working together, tell us about the complexities of that, how that developed, where it is, the good and bad, the pretty, the ugly, and everything in between.
Yeah, it's actually been great. So he started the business in 2001. We were married in 08. And I began working in the business in 2012. So for the past about 12, 13 years, I've been doing the account management. Now I have Tim for that. Thank God for Tim. I do all the insurance and all the hiring. And working together has been kind of an interesting and crazy journey. But all in all, it's been really cool. We see each other every day. We have lunch together all the time. He gets off work at a reasonable hour. We have a great work-life balance and kind of family-centric way of running our business. There's always drama with us, right?
Agree or disagree?
It's life, there's days where we look at each other and we're like, what do we do it all for? And then there's days when we look at each other and we're like, we're so blessed to be here in Northern Colorado with a small business, and our crew is great and we love them. But that being said, there's always curveballs. But I would say all in all, I wouldn't change anything, as far as running a small business, a family business. It's kind of the American, quote unquote dream, I suppose. But Northern Colorado is just a beautiful place to enhance outdoor living around here. The cool thing about landscaping, I think, is as you drive by throughout the years, you see it blossom and mature. So it's really fun to see some of the things that we did 10, 15 years ago, mature and come to fruition of how the vision was back then. And we just love it. I think we really like the industry that we're in, and we work well as a family. Our kids, for now, they say they want to take over the business, so we'll see how that goes.
They do.
It's cool.
We work with a lot of schools, and we work with a lot of businesses, and then obviously residential side of things as well.
Yeah. How do people connect with you? How do they get started? Like, is it ever too late to be introduced to you? And what's the easiest point of entry to get you in their circles?
I would say we encourage everybody to go look at our website at turftamerslandscaping.com, and then call Tim, our headquarters, and schedule a walkthrough, see if there's anything that we can provide for you to enhance your landscaping. With landscaping, it's kind of like an essence of time. None of us are getting any younger, so all those years that go past when you're looking at your bad landscaping, it could be looking at sitting in a little oasis in your backyard or at your business. So I think it's really to enjoy this part of the world in northern Colorado, even in the winter with the mild weather that we have, is having a good landscaping, a good place to relax and be outside is second to none.
Yeah. You guys are on social. You're most active in Instagram, would you say?
I would say Facebook's pretty robust as well.
Okay.
And don't forget to check out our Google reviews. We have phenomenal Google reviews. We have just really loyal customers. We get to know them kind of on a personal level. As a business owner, it can become kind of anonymous, but we're still really meeting our customers, getting to know them really well, asking, face to face, can I get a Google review from them? And they get to know us, and they do. So yeah, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and the Google business pages.
And the Timnath Chamber of Commerce.
There we go. Yes.
Which has been a great experience, by the way. We love being a part of the Timnath Chamber.
Cool. And I thank you guys for being a part of it as we work through the Timnath TV part, which is kind of a...
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's, we're in a beta stop, finding the places to put it and working with the businesses. There's some complexity there, but I think, it was worth the roll of the dice to get it to work. It's very, very well received. Fortunately, now we have the team at Timnath Middle High School doing some video production for us, and you might have saw the episode with Jesse Morrill on Timnath TV, which was our first episode produced by the school, which we were excited to have. So thank you to the team, and thank you for that episode.
We really think it's important to get the youth involved. We got a lot of young kids that are on our landscaping team, and having the students at the middle school work with you guys. And we love what you guys are doing at Timnath Chamber of Commerce for being such a young organization and only have started last year. We think you guys are doing leaps and bounds and really getting, Timnath is growing by, leagues. So it's really cool to see you guys putting it all together and doing this for us.
Thank you. Yeah, the timing just couldn't have been better. I feel like we got into it at a really good time. We got amazing people who are joining, who are all willing to contribute at a number of different levels. So thank you for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Cool. And thank you everyone for watching Timnath TV. Have a good day, and hope to cross paths with you soon.
Turf Tamers Landscaping.
That's right.